General Hospital spoilers tease that one of the most concerning and growing disasters within the General Hospital community right now is the behind-the-scenes story surrounding the uncertain future of actress Maura West, who plays Ava, one of the most iconic and beloved villains in the history of the show. While Ava is being pushed into the heart of numerous life-threatening conflicts on screen, behind the scenes, her professional future is becoming one of the greatest concerns for viewers. The situation has become more tense, with several signs indicating that General Hospital is implementing a series of strict personnel cuts to restructure its finances and reshape the production directly during these difficult times. These actions are no longer just rumors, they are becoming apparent through the quiet disappearance of some supporting characters, shortened storylines, and, most notably, veteran actors being considered for replacement or removal. What is truly unsettling is that Maura West's name has also been mentioned in these discussions. As part of the executive restructuring the show is undergoing, although there has been no official confirmation from the production team. The fact that Ava's character has recently been involved in increasingly deadly storylines, surrounded by life-threatening perils, has led many to question. Is Ava being pushed out to leave Port Charles? Ava is not an easy character to replace. Over more than a decade, she has become the soul of bold storylines, filled with moral contradictions, and the focal point of numerous tragedies that have resonated with millions of viewers. No one can portray Ava like Maura West, with her ability to show both sharp coldness and deep emotional wounds. Ava is not just a villain. She is a complex symphony of darkness and light, of cunning and the longing for love, of power and vulnerability. Her departure, if it actually happens, would not just be a change in the character lineup. It would be a painful farewell, leaving a massive void in the already turbulent world of General Hospital. Storylines like her feud with Sonny, Christina's schemes, the threat from Alexis, or the profound stories yet to be developed, would have to be hastily concluded or forgotten entirely. There is no denying that Ava's future has become a collective nightmare for the fan community. On online forums and social media, thousands of fans are expressing their anxiety, writing letters to the network, and sharing Ava's legendary moments as a way to protect the woman they love from the invisible blade of internal restructuring. They fear not just the departure of a character, but that General Hospital would lose its defining soul if Ava were to disappear. What is most terrifying is the uncertainty. No one knows when an episode will be the last time Ava appears. No one knows if Maura West will be offered a new contract or quietly removed. And it is this ambiguity that has turned Ava's future into a real haunting, an unresolved disaster, hanging over the heads of those who cherish her like the sword of Damocles. If General Hospital truly decides to remove Ava, it would not just be the end of a character. It would mark the end of an era where strong, conflicted, and deeply layered female characters like Ava could exist and shine. And if that happens, the audience won't just mourn. They will be furious. Because Ava is not just a part of the show. She is an irreplaceable part of the heart of millions of GH fans. Christina is getting closer than ever to the dangerous edge of losing control. And every new action she takes clearly reveals one thing: she is no longer just a victim of her past but is now becoming a source of hatred, a dark force on the verge of exploding. And no one in Port Charles feels this more clearly than Ava, who is at the center of this storm. No one denies that Ava is a dangerous woman. But what makes her special is her ability to survive countless schemes, revenge, and shocks that could make others collapse. But this time, Ava's adversary is not a weapons dealer, a political foe, or an ex-lover. It's Christina, a girl who was once a victim, once weak, but is now transforming into a true threat. This is one of the newest disasters taking shape. And no one can easily extinguish it. Christina no longer thinks logically. She no longer sees things through a simple black and white lens. In Christina's mind right now, Ava embodies all that is wrong, guilty, and dangerous. To Christina, if she can eliminate Ava, everything will settle down, she will be freed, and her family, especially her mother, Alexis, will be protected. It's a dangerous illusion, but for Christina, it is becoming the only truth she believes. The madness Christina is venturing into is not a single act but a long chain of wrong choices, emotional reactions, and the accumulation of hurt over time. Port Charles has witnessed many villains, many revenge plots, but it has never faced an eruption from someone who was once a symbol of rebirth and hope like Christina. And because of this, the story of Christina going after Ava is becoming more real than ever. If this happens, it will mark a historic turning point. Not just because Ava is one of the central characters of the show, but because Christina being the one to directly end Ava would signify a comprehensive shift in the direction of the storyline. No longer would there be shady schemes in the darkness. No more moral contradictions hidden under beautiful lies. This would be an explosive, raw confrontation, where hatred becomes action, and family love is distorted to the point of tragedy. The tension between Christina and Ava has reached its breaking point. Every time Christina sees Ava, her gaze is no longer one of restraint but one of someone waiting for the right moment. No one knows exactly what she will do, but everyone can feel it. Something terrible is coming. Ava can sense the danger, but she maintains her calm, sharp exterior. She believes she can handle Christina like any other enemy before, with wit, with strategy, with her connections in the shadows. But Ava may be misjudging. Christina is no longer the weak girl she once was. She has been transformed, and now, she is a threat carrying pain and rage that no one could predict. The shift in Christina is one of the deepest adjustments in the overall landscape of Port Charles. And it's not happening in isolation. It's coming alongside a series of major changes in the show, personnel restructuring, new storylines, and rumors of cutting iconic characters like Ava. All of this is making viewers fear that not only could Ava be written out of the show, but the actress who plays her could also be at risk of stepping away in real life. The story of Christina taking action against Ava is no longer a crazy theory. It is being built step by step, disguised with emotion, nurtured by isolation, and now, it is slowly turning into an inevitable reality. Viewers may not want to believe it, but all signs are pointing in one direction. Christina will make the move, and Ava may not be able to escape in time. If that happens, it will be a true explosion in the General Hospital storyline. And its consequences will not just stop at Ava. It will affect every character, every relationship, every storyline that has been built over the years. Christina, the girl who was once a victim, may become the new villain. Ava, the undefeated queen, may fall not because of a mistake, but because she didn't see the fire burning silently inside someone she never considered a threat. And when the blood is spilled, both literally and figuratively, Port Charles will never be the same again. Ava is now becoming the prime target in a brutal underground manhunt quietly carried out by two of the most powerful men in Port Charles, Rick and Sonny. Ava's existence has become more than just a thorn in their side, it's now seen as an imminent threat that can no longer be ignored. Both Rick and Sonny have tainted histories connected to Ava, and now, with personal interests, dark secrets, and power plays all colliding, Ava has suddenly turned into a dangerous wild card that must be eliminated at all costs. This is no longer a personal vendetta. This is a purge steeped in politics, emotion, and ruthless destruction. And what's most terrifying is that it's being orchestrated with cold, calculated precision from both sides. While Rick moves like a vengeful predator biding his time, Sonny operates like a seasoned warrior, clearing out any potential threat to his empire and family. Ava, once the woman who made both men surrender to her in their own ways, is now the intersection point in a plan of complete annihilation. But behind the scenes, beyond the on-screen drama, a much larger adjustment is underway. Unofficial sources within the General Hospital production have revealed that the writing team has been instructed to develop scripts that allow for the potential removal of long-standing characters, including Ava, as part of a broader cost-cutting and content restructuring strategy. This makes all of Ava's current storylines, escalating danger, being cornered, hunted, and watched with chilling intensity, not just gripping plot points, but possible warning signs of a final exit. If Ava dies, it won't just be a shocking twist. It will be an emotional earthquake for the show's loyal viewers, especially those who followed Ava for years. There's no denying that Ava is one of the most complex characters ever written into GH's history, a woman forged from imperfection, sharp intellect, contradiction, and deadly allure. She's not a typical villain but a symbol of survival, transformation, and deep psychological undercurrents that are impossible to look away from. That's why, if Ava's death comes, at Rick's hand, through Sunny's icy calculations, or worse, as a behind-the-scenes, script wipeout, it will trigger an explosive backlash from the fan community. Loyal fans are already expressing frustration, fear, and outrage across forums and social media, where Ava isn't just a character, she's a part of the show's history, the emotional backbone of the tragedies that make Port Charles hauntingly compelling. What's even scarier is that this change isn't happening quietly. It comes with mounting pressures on the creative team, from retaining viewers and ratings to complying with restructuring plans from producers. This creates a dangerously high-stakes double bind. Something must be sacrificed to make noise, to clear the way for a new generation of characters. And Ava, tragically, is the one being considered for the chopping block. The signs on screen support that theory. Ava is constantly being thrust into no-win situations, betrayed, hunted, and isolated to a suffocating degree. She no longer has any true allies. Every word she speaks is twisted. Every action misinterpreted. This isn't ordinary dramatic build-up, it's a methodical deletion process, executed scene by scene. And in this context, the pressure from fans is higher than ever. Because they understand, if Ava leaves, it's an irreplaceable loss, not just to the character lineup, but to the soul of General Hospital. Ava represents the kind of strong yet wounded female character who proves that someone can be both victim and aggressor and still survive every storm. If she disappears, countless storylines, relationships, and layers of drama will lose their meaning. The question is no longer, will Ava die, but who will be the one to kill her? And while viewers hold their breath with every new episode, a chilling truth quietly settles in: Ava's death, if it comes, won't just mark the end of a character, but a warning that a darker era is looming over Port Charles. An era where no one, no matter how strong, smart, or captivating, is guaranteed survival. Sunny and Alexis are no longer just two people who share a complicated past or tense political and personal battles. They're now bound by a sacred and difficult task, to become parents who protect, carry, and guide their children through life's harshest storms. As Port Charles spirals into chaos, riddled with death, shattered secrets, and broken trust, their evolving roles as parents are not just minor adjustments, but deep turning points in the narrative. It's a shift that pulls them away from power and conflict and back to the core of human connection, unconditional love for their children. Sunny, once a cold-blooded mob boss, is now facing the most profound emotional transformation of his life. He can no longer solve everything with violence or threats. He must now learn to understand, to protect without harming, and to guide without controlling. Alexis, once a staunch advocate of logic and law, now must face something no one taught her: how to keep Christina from being consumed by the darkness she's creating for herself, how to protect a daughter without destroying her. They are two opposing worlds, now joined in a role no one else can take on, being the foundation for children standing at the crossroads of collapse and identity. And then, a devastating piece of news slices through like a sharp blade: Avery's mother is dead. This isn't just a life-shattering event for a child too young to understand the full weight of loss, it's an emotional quake powerful enough to shake all of Port Charles. That death, whether the result of revenge, politics, or accident, is a genuine catastrophe for Avery's soul and for the adults around her, who must now confront the consequences of what they've done or failed to prevent. Avery now has no mother. And that shock doesn't just collapse her small world, it triggers a profound transformation in Sunny's emotional core. He can no longer shield her from reality. He can't just drop her off at school like a regular father without feeling the crushing burden that it was the wars of adults that stole away the woman who gave birth to her. For Alexis, the death of Avery's mother, if it is indeed Ava, is not simply another name crossed off the character list. It's a symbol of the madness that now engulfs Port Charles, where no one, Not even the strongest can escape the consequences of their actions. Alexis knows better than anyone that every choice, every act, every word, if not guided by love and reason, can turn into a knife cutting through innocent hearts. This death marks a new kind of shift, not just in how Sunny and Alexis see themselves, but in how they shape the futures of the children they're trying to protect. They can no longer turn away, hide, or avoid. They must step up, confront, and do what they once thought unnecessary. Become shields for a new generation, a generation that hasn't even grown up yet but is already learning to survive among the wreckage left behind by adults. And in all that chaos, one truth is clearer than ever: Port Charles is no longer safe for anyone. Unthinkable things are happening, things that, a year ago, would have been considered too bold to write, are now unfolding with chilling intensity and no mercy. One death, one truth, one departure, each has the power to unravel the emotional fabric of the entire town. Sunny and Alexis, two people once driven by power and prestige, now stand at the intersection of love, fear, responsibility, and redemption. They can't rewrite the past, but in this moment, they are trying not to repeat it, to ensure Avery, Christina, and the other children don't become the next victims of the chaotic world they helped build. And so, amid deep changes, unresolved pain, and emotional reawakening, a new era is beginning, where parents who thought they'd lost everything must learn to rebuild from the ashes. Not for themselves, but for the fragile future of the children watching their every move.